Right under for probably about 18 months. I'm a retired hairstylist. I'm still the owner of a salon, which is now in a takedown braid lounge. We take your braids down for you. And some of those, no. That's a task in itself. I wanted to share a couple of things. I'm gonna try to get this done in about 8 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna go through this kind of fast. I don't need to tell nobody to have their notes if you're on this call, because that if you're on this call, I think you should be past that. You should always have notes. I'm still a student. I will always be a student. If you see how this administration has been going, you see how it has changed up over the time. Since I've been in it from beginning to now, it has changed at least every 3 months. I'm gonna give it every quarter, it's a change. And it's going to always change. That's what I was told. So just have all your processes, I guess that's the word. I'm gonna call it processes in order. That is the biggest thing right now. Just have your things ready. Have all your documents, have everything set to the side. You don't want to have to go looking for documents that you should already have. Put it all in a folder. Let's make this real simple. I know this has been taught, but I'm telling you how important it is from someone who's been in it, who's done it, who had to chase a paper that I knew better. I knew I should have had my EIN number. That's so small, but it's so real. Have everything right there in the folder. It really helps you get through your process because it's a lot of paperwork. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to uh, make this seem more difficult than it is. It's just a lot of paperwork. How many of y'all know the frustration of looking for a document that you know you should have had ready? That's why this process, that little small process matters. And then when it comes to the writing, when you're trying to write, you want to read that proposal, then read it again. Then you want to read it again. And then once you start your cover letter, read it again. You know how many times I've read my proposals? At least, I don't care if they're 10 pages or if they're 100 pages, at least 7 to 10 times. At least 7 to 10 times. And I'm going to get something out of it each and every time. So I remember it was little things. I remember my first proposal and Malcolm read over it and he put all these things. And I was like, I read that proposal 7 times. Read that proposal, Malcolm. These are the things that I've learned that I have shared. Okay. So what he pulled from it, I know I read that. Now, did I see that? I didn't. I didn't see it, but I read it 7 times. So read it 7 to 10 if that's what it takes. Um, when you're trying to win a contract, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be stressful. I'm not going to even sugarcoat it for you. But when you win, because you will win. As long as you're consistent, as long as you're tenacious, you'll win. Because that's what it's going to take. Your certificates aren't going to pull you through anymore, so don't lean on those. I'm not saying they won't help. I'm just saying they're not going to you don't get to get thrown in a bucket just because you had that cert. Those not right now, not with this administration. I'm not
And
saying don't get them.
okay, just really quickly, just so that they understand,
Mm,
you're not certified yet,
no,
right? So she doesn't have a minority business
no,
certification yet. She
no.
will, but
And
she doesn't
Malcolm,
have one yet.
Malcolm making sure because it's still important, right? It's still important to have. But no, I did not win my first contract, which is close to a $500,000 uh under any type of cert. Not a 8A, women owned, minority owned, HUDs, nothing. It's strictly knowing how to position yourself and what they're looking for in that proposal, I was able to meet. And they knew that I could, well, I had to make sure they knew that I was capable. That didn't mean I knew exactly what I was doing. It didn't.
Now I want to chime in with one more quick question. So you said you're a hairstylist by trade.
Hmm.
What was the contract for?
Camera installation for a county, a school district.
So, we had talked briefly about thinking outside the box and, going after contract opportunities that may not necessarily be in your industry, but may be in your orbit. There's a difference between, industry and
Mm.
orbit.
No.
Um, you know, you have a husband who does cameras and, low voltage and things of that nature. So when you saw it, um, that was the first person you thought of.
Yeah.
Uh, and we've talked about, you know, your cousin, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, mother. When you're thinking about going after these contracts, don't just think about what you do, think about what they do as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
If you have a good landscaper that's cutting your grass, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind getting some of those government dollars as well. So
Right.
just wanted to kind of, put that out there that you're not a camera person,
No.
you're a hairstylist
Yes.
by trade, and your
Right.
first contract was for a camera install.
That is correct. That is correct. I seen it. I A lot of people can't understand that middleman instance right away. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand. My husband did not understand the middleman. He was like, "Is that legal?" I'm like, "Well, we're about to find out." I knew it was, but I couldn't go, I didn't have time to go back and forth. I just didn't. I knew that I had like 16 days to get this contract in. It took me 14 to structure it. It took me 14 days because I'm back and forth with Malcolm, and Malcolm wants it done right. And I appreciate that. I'm back and forth. And he doesn't have time for you to come with a half-ass. You know how many people want him to read over? Just have it together. And mine wasn't totally structured, but I had things in place.
I tried to told him. I tried to told him.
This is so it's definitely one of them things where I want to make sure how much people understand. I mean, I want to make sure people understand how much and how important it is to have that writing. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, because this is my real life mother. Out. Leave those shoes. Thank you. Okay. All right. It's real life still. So, okay. Um, I'm gonna tell y'all when my very first contract, I was so scared. I was, I felt like I was shaking on the inside. I was scared, but I did it anyway. I was unsure, but I did it anyway. I was all those things. I did it anyway. I made sure because first of all, I was scared to ask questions once I even did it. And Malcolm was like, "No, no, no. You ask those questions. Oh, and if they don't answer, put this code in. Look, Malcolm, do you remember that? I mean, I was looking for the open records.
I do.
You taught me how to do the open records. And the responses I got back so fast were so I was intrigued. I couldn't understand that it was so simple just to ask. And I think it's only one yeah, one person I had to go ahead a little deeper and say, well, under code,
Right. And threaten. It was
and
one.
it
Yeah.
was a very nice threat. Boom. Just like that, they sent it back over.
Right.
What I've learned is patience, reading the fine print, networking, compliance, and understanding the language of contracts. If you don't understand the language, you have chat now. I was
Right.
scared of chat. I ain't gonna tell nobody a lie. I was scared of chat. Even with my husband being in IT using chat for the last 5 years, chat GPT, I was like, I got Google. I didn't understand the difference until the last 2.5, maybe 3 years. So use it, get your process in order, get your writing together, prepare yourself to win, sit at the tables, and stay connected to Malcolm if you can. Take his seminars. It's an investment.
Well, thank
Make sure
you.
you
I
get the
appreciate
books.
that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate that. Now, one
yeah.
one final question for you.
Okay.